How's it going? Out here today doing some more work on the Swiss cheese track car, and today what we're going to be looking at is this window. So the car is jacked up. It's not exactly level, but when I just close the door, it doesn't actually seal right in here, which is why we bought this piece of crap. Buddy did a big brake swap to his EF, so he got it for cheap. We bought it for cheap. I mainly was really having a hard time finding all of the weather stripping in here, so we removed all of that off. You saw that in the thread. We also have pulled off this track here. It went right here. This I believe it's called a belt trim or something like that. The one on the track car has got some seal missing here, so let's see what happens, man. We're gonna get into this thing. Alrighty, so we got the door off, or the door panel. This is an old car. It's been through, I mean, it's got 300,000 miles on it, so there's been some weird stuff I found along the way, some odd bolts and some odd bolt selections to keep things attached anyway, so we got everything off. Notice that it's got a decent little kicker speaker here with one freaking screw in it. But anyways, haven't found anything yet as far as why the window's not sealing right. It's got a lot of movement in it, so you know, we're gonna play around with it a little bit. Took the power mirror off. Now we have access to this piece of trim here. We're gonna go ahead and pop that off. At the very least, we can go ahead and get that fixed. Then we'll see what's going on with this window here in a minute. All right, so that new, well, the other belt piece trim is in. Looks way better. We haven't washed this thing yet because we're doing so much work on it. We're not even bothering with that yet, but a lot nicer. I also got this tool. I didn't mention this a second ago. I'll try to put a description or a link to this, but this tool is made by Lisle, I believe. I got it on Amazon for maybe 18, 19 bucks. It is perfect for popping loose these. I should have took a photo before I put the new one in, but see these all these little clips on these belt trims. You can actually look if you, let me prop it up here. All right, so when we look here, we see they got these white clips. There's actually a plastic piece that extends from here up into here, and it's basically like, you know, one of those things that needs to be depressed, so you can pull this out. And if you don't have that and you pull it out, you basically rip them all. They all bust. And then you can see this one's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All 6 of them are broken. Now the other piece only had one that was still intact, which I think was this one, or possibly this one. But at least it's something to keep it clipped in. Now you do have 2 screws on this thing. One is right at the end of the door. You just a little Phillips head will get that off. Same screw here. So we put the mirror back on, and that looks so much nicer. We basically only bought this car because I had such a hard time finding this piece here and this weather stripping. But yeah, we're gonna focus on this window now and see if we can explain what's going on with that. All right, so not 100%, but I'm pretty sure we figured out some things among all the leaves and debris that I've cleaned out of this door. We found a couple of pieces of plastic with some glass in it. There is some glass debris down here. It's pretty clear that this window at some point was busted. All right, well, we've been at this thing pretty much all day, and I've pretty much figured it out. We pulled some of these guys out of the bottom of the car, like I was saying, and these are the, I don't know what you call them, I guess they're the guides that go in here. So this is supposed to be attached to this part of the regulator. It's not, it's broken. This is actually the one that goes here. So you got a right and a left. So that's what those are. Most of the reason that I figured this out was that I pulled the window out of this parts car. Let's get this guy out. I was debating on whether or not I had the wrong windshield in the car. Hell, I still might, I don't really know, but once I got it out, I pretty much was like, okay, this makes sense. This one's broken, this one's not. So both are broken on my car. I was just sure it was the window, pulled the window out, and boom, look at what we have. These little guide things here on the, I guess these are the guides that slide into the regulator, and it's busted on the right side. The left side's actually still intact. Now this is the window from the parts car. And the window on my actual car, both of these things are, remember I was talking earlier, we pulled some parts out. Yeah, this driver's side or parts car window actually still has one of them still on. So I'm going to try and find this. If I can't find it, then so be it. I might just JB weld this together or something. But at least it'll be a better window to have than this. It is very clear that the window it doesn't fit. You can see right in the freaking car here. And again, it's not level, and that kind of plays a little bit into it, but it's still, the first thing I noticed when I closed the door when I bought the car is something's not right on the seal. The other thing is, we've got this brand new, okay, this replaced belt trim, and when I hold, you see how it doesn't even seal. I mean, look at this. I have to pull it just to get it to seal against the belt trim. Now, it did not do that with this one. It was just dead on. All right, we're out here several weeks later. These windows are just a pain. There's the old window. We ended up taking the window out of this parts car with some JB weld on one of the hangers. This guy here, it was broken. I found it in the bottom down here. Well, on that one anyways. This one was still intact here. So we got the new window in, and it's really easy to do. So you just have to lower the window down to where there's only 2 bolts that hold these things in. 10mm nut. You just lower the window down to where you can access one here and then one right through this little hole here. And then you have to take these little, they're almost like these little stops that prevent the motor from just raising the window too far. But anyways, we got this thing in, and I was like, oh man, look at this gap. Look at that. Terrible. This is a waste of time. I didn't do anything. I accomplished nothing. And then I closed the door, and yo, the door seals. We've got a good seal all around here. I mean, it's not like perfect, but all things considered, I mean, I would really like for this seal to be a little tighter, because obviously it's going to let water in. But I'm going to keep a car cover on it, and if it lets water in, it's not actually coming into the car, it's just getting into the door. And I'm sure that happens anyways, so kind of frustrated because I wanted this thing to be right, but at least we made some progress, you know, that the door clearly seals. And again, I'm not level. I've got this thing up on jack stands. I've got the front higher than the back because I'm doing most of my work in the front, and it's still, I'm just closing the door, and this is light years ahead of what we had. So I'm pretty happy. Success.